Andrew McGahon for TheMacLife.com here at the state-of-the-art, brand new SBG Charlestown facility. Conveniently enough, just around the corner from the old SBG Charlestown facility. But Owen, the thing that I find fascinating about this is, while you were still fighting, at an early stage in your career, you went out and you opened Primal. You felt that you needed something here on the north side in your hometown. Now you are seemingly the last guy with an SBG super gym as such. To me, I think, though, the slow build is what has suited you better here. You've got all of this experience now before you open something like this.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. It's been a long time coming. I've been in the gym just around the corner. I mean, I love that gym. Some great fighters came out through that, come up through the ranks in that facility. But we outgrew it. Like, I mean, you could barely fit 20 people on the mat at a time. No ring, no cage, no boxing bags, no changing rooms, no showers, nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at all of these gyms like the Concord, phenomenal gym. D24, phenomenal gym. Tallaght, phenomenal gym. And then there's me in a little 1,000 square foot training area. And I kind of got to me a little bit. I was like, people are coming over and they want to train with me, and then they see the facility, and it's just doesn't match, what I've achieved as a fighter and as a coach. You know what I mean? And now finally we're here, and we've got a 7,000 square foot gym. We have everything we need: strength conditioning, cage, ring, pads, boxing bags, strength conditioning. We have everything. It's unbelievable.
You're talking about other fighters. That was one thing I was curious about. Ryan Hall spoke very well about you in terms of your striking ability. You got a load of free show-your-old stuff out of it as well. You were delighted. But now, did you feel that maybe people were reluctant maybe to come over to you to want to learn off you based off the facilities? And will this now just mean that it's a no-brainer for those people that want to come?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, I'm starting to work with a lot of different people now. You know what I mean? I'm working with Jack McGahon. He's made his pro boxing debut, phenomenal debut. And Liam McCourt just came down from the north, and now she's part of the team. We're building a great team of amateurs underneath that. Yeah, so the facility we have there caters for the top people in the world. So we're happy to have anyone that's interested in training and trying to pick my brain or see what my approach is in regards to striking or mixed martial arts. Like, I love that myself. I love going over to another gym and just watching how a coach teaches, because we can all learn off each other, and if we do that, the sport gets better. It gets more exciting for the fans, and that's what we all want, isn't it?
And not to potentially alienate any new members, because we're talking about your high level coaching ability and these guys who are coming to you, but a person who can walk in off the street for the first time will be catered to with every single class here as well.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, we have the beginner program and stuff like that, and we bring them up to the beginner program. It takes a couple of months to go through that into the media, so you can start with absolutely no combat experience, absolutely no sports background, and start at day one, and it depends on the person, but within a year or two be competent in mixed martial arts. Like, you know what I mean? The coaches are phenomenal here. They've all trained under me for many years, and they've bundles of years of experience in whatever field it is, whether it's wrestling or boxing or kickboxing or Muay Thai or anything like that, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Phenomenal coaches, phenomenal team, and we've got something for everybody,
And then one last thing on terms of the community, how much do you want this to be a place for the community as well, like for the kids? I know I can remember the excitement of Paddy Houlihan when he was opening SBG D24 about how he knows that his place can be a safe space for the kids so that they're not running around the estate, so that they're not out and about. Do you envision the same thing happening here?
Most definitely. So so at the moment I'm with a friend of mine in the youth club, and we're bringing up 40 teenagers from around Ballymun. We're going to start in Ballymun. We're going to bring them up. We're going to put them on. It's going to be like a scholarship program. So I'm going to train them for 8 weeks every week, and then the best prospects that I see, I'll give them a scholarship for the year. And then I'm going to go to Finglas, and I'm going to go to Coolock as well. So I you know what, I grew up in the flats and hanging around the flats in Ballymun, and it's it can be it can be a lot of luck getting out without getting either charged or getting involved in drugs too much and stuff like that. It's you have to be very lucky. Mixed martial arts, for me, that's what guided me in the right direction. You know what I mean? And I drive into Ballymun now, and I see gangs of lads just hanging around with not much to do, and you're bound to get into antisocial, doing antisocial behaviour when you're hanging around. You've nothing to do. So this facility, we're welcoming everybody, and we want to give this. We want to give the lads from all areas just a place to come and train and learn something new and pursue something different.
Do you feel that you can also be a mentor to those people who are maybe coming into the gym, but you're driving down the Ballymun Road and you may see them in a group and that's why they weren't at training that day?
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable enough now? Your job is not only to teach these like guys practical fighting skills, it's also life lessons as well. Would you be pulling them in and say, or is it your own decision, your own destiny?
You know what? Look, I'm not going to step on anybody's toes in regards to what kids do, but I want to give them an option. Like there's an option here, and the people that are here, if somebody's training here, they'll always be guided in the right direction, because everybody here has the head screwed on, and they're good people. And if you surround yourself with good people, you become a good person. If you surround yourself with bad people, ultimately you're going to become for most part, you're going to become a bad person. And that's where I just want to provide a facility for people to come and try something different.
You've been doing a couple of interviews today, a Q&A with Mike Sheridan, and the words you've been using is things are brewing nicely.
Yeah.
But I'm actually more interested in asking you about the location. I'm curious of like your take on this, because you're someone who would have experienced 3 and 4 Conor fights within the space of 14 to 15 months, going back to these different places.
Yeah.
Maybe with the last 2 in comparison to the Mendez, the Aldo in Vegas, slightly more subdued. New York is a huge place. People can get lost in it. Mayweather was a boxing fight. It didn't have the same MMA sort of Irish fan atmosphere. Vegas surely is going to be the place this year for Irish people.
Yeah, most definitely. It has to be Vegas. When Conor comes back, it just has to be Vegas. At the end of the day, the experience first off is it's unbelievable. Everybody, as I said, we always laugh. We don't know how people can afford to go to Vegas. They've been doing it every year for the past 4 years for Conor fights, you know what I mean? But the atmosphere in Vegas is unbelievable. And you know what, as well, for the fighters, the pay-per-view as well, it has to be in Vegas, and no better place.
GA jerseys in the MGM as well. That's what we're looking for this year.
Yeah, it's deadly.
Just 2 quick things. In terms, I know you're talking about Khabib, and then John was talking about Nate recently. Yeah. Do you feel that regardless, just due to the fact that it could be nearly 2 years from November 2016 in Madison Square Garden before he steps back in, that as far as you're all concerned, maybe the results, you have an idea of what it's going to be, what the plan is going to be with the camp, but I feel that the reaction to a Conor win in his next fight would be astronomical, because people have spent the last 2 years saying, you're not fighting mixed martial arts, now you're going off to boxing. Yeah. But he's been training the entire time, and he'll come back into mixed martial arts and look even better.
Listen, Conor is a better mixed martial artist than he was the last time he fought. He's a lot better. He doesn't take a day off. And there's very few people that like that. If he's not training, he's watching footage. He's looking at different fighters. He's always evolving and moving forward. When he comes back, it's you're going to see a new and improved and a reinvigorated Conor. He's been on the trot for 4 years straight. That takes its toll. Now, after a little break, now the hunger's back. He's still been training. He's been enjoying training, and not just doing training camps. He's been experimenting with new things. He's been working on where he feels he needs to work on. When he comes back, he's just going to be I don't know how he constantly improves. I always say this in all the interviews through the years. I don't know how he constantly improves, but he's constantly bettering his last camp, and I expect that again.
And just on him, with this behind us, the majority of people who walk in this door will know you from your association with Conor, will want to be associated because of that. Is this now the facility that will mean that Owen Roddy will have UFC fighters in the next couple of years? That you probably have, let's be realistic here, maybe your best ever fighter hasn't even walked through the doors yet, and you don't know that. That's surely an exciting prospect for you.
This, for me, now that the facility is done, that was my next goal. Now my next goal is to take take a kid from, whatever age up that's been in the program, and do the walk with him into the UFC cage, and that'll be a very proud moment for me. And then we'll go get a belt as well. But it's we have everything we need now. We have an amazing facility. I don't envision myself moving out of this unit for many years, and now it's time to build a big team of guys and go after it.
Well, between yourself, Paul, all the staff, the coaches and everyone. I wish you absolutely the best of success. I know that. Last thing. You have a lot of amateur fighters as well. Just one quick thing, how do you feel about the current scene in Ireland with that, about the prevention of getting amateur fights fighting regularly? Do you see something in sight with that? And could Conor's next fight bring awareness maybe towards the government in terms of like getting it legislated that little bit more?
I think we're very close to getting recognised and stuff like that. At the moment now, Ireland for amateur mixed martial arts, it's the benchmark. You know, scans, bloods, you know, it's just we're the safest amateur mixed martial arts country in the world. You know what I mean? And it's starting to come back now. We went a bit dry there for a while because of you know the change in kind of in the rules and whatnot. But now it's starting to brew back up again. You know, we've had the guys in the IMAPs do very well, and you know there's more and more amateur bouts going on because more people are getting their scans done and getting everything sorted. That's only going to build, and what that also allows for is it allows people to fight a lot more regularly when they're fighting safely. They're wearing the shins, they're wearing the bigger gloves. They're getting their scans, so they're getting their bloods done. So there's not that much risk. And they're going to be allowed like fight, you know, every 2 or 3 weeks and stuff like that. That's what I envision. You know, once we get like a nationals going here and build it like kind of like the boxing and stuff like that. Once we get that going, kids are going to be fighting very regular, and it's going to be the sport is just going to take another big leap. You know.
Perfect. Owen Roddy.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.